Welcome back, y'all. This is the Bluechip Breakdown with your host, Bull P and Timmy G. Man, you know, golly, I have so many things, excuse me, that I want to kind of get off of my chest. I'm sure that y'all do as well. Whenever y'all coming in, just please make sure to like and subscribe. That helps us out a lot. But first and foremost, man, this loss to an Arkansas team that we knew was good coming in, but it's not a team that we should have lost to on the road, especially coming off of a bye. I put this 100% on Coach Heupel. It seems like, maybe he's good for that every single season. Goes out on the road, loses to a team that we have no business losing to. Now, good thing is hopefully this is our one for this season because this team is still good. But it's not just on Hype, it's on the entire staff from top to bottom. Nobody looked like they was ready to play. There was some spurts where we looked good, but outside of that, I mean, look, and I'm just gonna say it. Nico played horrible in this game. He didn't play good at all. It was times when, we got offensive linemen like Sprags is blocking freaking air. I don't understand that. I don't understand on what planet is it possible that you don't block a soul. They bring 6 to 7 people, you block nobody. Okay, it's a third and gotta have it. I don't even know what the down. I don't know what it was, but that's how it felt every single play for me. Offensive line was spotty. I put that on the offensive line coach. Linebackers, their eyes were wrong all the time. How many different places can you go? How many different gaps can you fill? Do your job. Safeties look bad. I think that I think that 3 looked pretty good, right? He was in good coverage. It was perfect passes. Ricky Gibson, I don't know, you're playing off, but you come up and you can't tackle. But Nico, man, look, you're holding on to the ball too daggum long. Go through your read. Stop staring stuff down. Get the ball out of your hands or move. Run. You can't just stand back there. He had some bad passes. People drop passes. People were getting hurt. A whole bunch of penalties. It was a sloppy, disgusting, absolutely horrible game from top to bottom. And that falls on the head man Heupel. He's got to do better than that. I think that we will moving forward, but this game, that's unacceptable. It's 100% unacceptable. I think maybe we bought into the hype too much. People are kind of feeling themselves. Oh, yeah, we're number 4. Everybody else kind of suck. We're talking about that all the time on this channel. Like we're looking with, oh, yeah, Tennessee's way up there. It's a whole lot. And then, too, and I'm not going to take up too much time right now. I'm going to let y'all speak, too. But going back to Heupel, the route combinations is something that P and I have had a problem with for a long time. It's too vertical. It's too much. Hey, this is going to be a go, or it's going to be a post, or it's going to be a dig, or it's a comeback. The route combination is atrocious, and we have more route combinations. You saw on the last play, we started to bunch it up a little bit more so that we can get into those combinations. Heupel has got to get outside of, oh, this is who I am, this is my scheme, and do what the hell works so that we can win. There's absolutely no reason we are more talented than this team. Like if we can't block them, bring in some more people, run a different set, do something. But Heupel just did not do that. And it makes me absolutely sick. Pete.
Yeah. Heck, I'm getting my daggum soapbox now. And, hey, I'm going to say it. I'm freaking done with this team. Now, no, here's the deal.
Oh, come on, man.
No. Here's the deal. I'm going to watch. Hey, I'm still all ball, but I'm done as far as talking about this team as a daggum contender team. I'm done with these guys, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. You're going to buy into the hype. You're going to do all this stuff. They came out tonight against a mediocre Arkansas team and looked like they were completely unprepared. Linebackers, Keenan Peely, people are running through them, going the wrong direction. The D-line.
Hold on. All right, so let me just clear this up because he's not saying that he's done with the team. He's saying that he's done with saying that we are a title contender. I had to clear that up because people will take that.
Here's the deal. I'm never gonna be done with Tennessee in terms of I'm gonna watch. Hey, I was here for the whole deal. Pruitt, Dooley, Butch. I'm never gonna turn back on this. But as far as talking about this team as a team that's gonna win the whole thing, I'm done saying that for this season. They're gonna have to prove it to me. Go out there and beat Bama like Vandy did tonight. Show me something because I saw a team tonight. Looked awful in every phase of the game. Hey, we got to watch the film to see because coaches say it all the time. It's never as good as it seems. It's never as bad as it seemed. Whatever. We got to see the film, but I mean, they just looked awful tonight. Coming off a bye week, and you're unprepared for a team. We got to go to the backup quarterback, and he goes out there and beats us. I'm done with these guys. And then like Bull was saying, the freaking route concepts. I mean, we've got access to the film, so we watch these guys on film, and I mean the route concepts, I mean, would make you want to vomit. And you talk about Nico, terrible game, and we were having kind of a discussion about this off air. Is it Nico or is it, well, hey coach, you're giving me two routes. Okay, you're giving me two routes on the play and they're covered up. So now what do? You give me two routes, coach. Give me multiple options. And not only that, but give me options that are going to work. You can't just run a vertical stem. Hey, it's going to be a 10-yard vertical stem and we're going to read the guy. And based on what he does, we're going to go in, we're going to go out. You give me some options. Give me some different stems. Give me some options that are going to work. And I mean, again, hey, just off a loss. It's never as bad as it seems, never as good as it seems. But I mean, 14 points. We had no points in the first half. Came out in the second half. Look like we're gonna get it going, but we never quite got it going. Nico was off tonight. Okay, he missed some throws, took some sacks, and then the last play, I mean, a freaking
runs out of bounds. I mean, throw the ball up. Right? I mean, Milton did the same thing versus Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
What is going
I did have a flashback to Ole Miss on that. No joke.
Yeah. So I'm yes.
Yeah. Timmy G, you know what? I mean, I can go all day, but Timmy G, I mean, how do you feel about this? This is off.
Well, I'm not as upset as you guys are. Look, I mean, the loss was bad. Like it was bad to lose. I want to rewatch some things to see what happened. I think sometimes we forget Nico. This was his sixth start. Right?
Yeah.
Sixth start. Okay, it's a sixth start, and he's a freshman. Look, I agree. Some of the play calling is horrible. Stop that run on 3rd and 7 shit. Like, just stop.
Why?
Like, you ain't fooling nobody. You've got that crap on film a million times. I think the play calling wasn't so great. The linebackers looked a little confused. But listen, I got to give Arkansas some credit. I knew Petrino. Number one, that's Petrino, man. He's a pretty damn good offensive coordinator. I think Heupel did definitely get way too conservative there at the end, and I don't know what's up with that. But maybe we needed this to take our foot off the gas and start to wake up. Listen, it's not the end of the world. Alabama lost to Vanderbilt at Vanderbilt. They carried the goalposts down Broadway and threw them in the fucking river 3 miles away. That happened. Let me just, before everybody goes off and says it's the end of the world, listen, is it good? No, it's not good. But let me read off some things right here. I was worried when I saw this earlier. Michigan lost to Washington, 27-17. Tennessee lose to Arkansas. We know that. USC lost to Minnesota. Obviously, Alabama lost to Vandy. A lot of ranked teams went down today.
Miami's losing the cow right now.
Miami is losing the cow.
Big.
So me waking up and choosing violence was the right thing this morning. That's all I'm going to say. I hope it sticks out that way. But listen, it's not the end of the world. But what does it mean now, right? We have to go out and we have to beat Alabama or Georgia, and we've got to finish out, right? Is it good? No, it's not good. But maybe this will be a wake up call for Heupel and some of the play calling and some of the stuff, and go out there and take some chances. That's what I got to say about that. I saw some good stuff and I saw some really dumb shit. I mean, I saw too many penalties, for sure. That Jordan Ross thing, man, that hurt.
Yeah,
that hurt. That was not good. But it is what it is. We lost. They've got to come back and get ready for Florida and handle business there, and then handle business with Alabama, and just keep moving forward. So, I want to see the tape. I'm reserving my judgment. I'm not saying it was good, obviously, but I want to see the tape and be able to look over it before casting stones. But I definitely saw some problems. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, and of course, we're upset that we lost, but I mean, the season ain't over with. We can still make it to the playoffs, but Timmy G, like you said, it's just the margin of error. It's
Yes.
slim. It's very, very slim. So we got to take care of business in every single week. And I know that this team is capable. I would like to know what the heck happened today. Lance Hurd coming off of missing 3 or 4 weeks. And he's
That
got a
was
bunch of
part of it.
penalties.
All the false
Yeah, I
start
mean, it
penalties,
was
and I mean, there
it,
was a
it
lot of
was
things, man. There
it was
was
a whole lot of stuff.
a whole lot of stuff that was. It wasn't like just one massive wound. It was death by 1,000 cuts, right? It was
Yeah,
a lot of things,
yeah.
which is
Go ahead.
not good. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, well, so you know what, we're gonna talk about it some more, but let me get to some of these super chats real quick. Right here from Wesley for $4.99. Thank you so much for that. Says, do you think people have just figured out the offense? The offense looked like Buki. Yeah, so I do. I mean, so it's not a complicated, like whenever you look at the scheme, it's not hard to stop. It honestly isn't. But that's been my point of why Heupel. I felt like, maybe in that OU game, it was okay just to kind of come out of there with that win. But I felt like in this game, you got to open it up. And it kind of felt like on that first play that we kind of tried to do some stuff. We had some wrinkles in there. And then, I mean, we have penalties and people are, downfield. I mean, it's just stupid stuff. Like, why would you be downfield on if it's a pass play? Why are you down the field? And how many times has that happened? That right there is a lack of discipline. And that comes from the coaching staff. I think that we're a little bit too laid back sometimes. Some of our coaches are, okay, and it seems like it's mostly offense. You gotta, I mean, you've got to drive it home that this is what you do over and over and over again. You cannot get down the field. But anyway, I don't want to go too far off on that. My whole point is this: I felt like maybe we wanted to open things up today, but we just couldn't because we could never get the offense going. But even still, you come out on first down. Okay, like we got, especially in the second half, and we can go back, but I was kind of keeping track of it. It was run, pass, or it was pass, run. And we just keep on alternating, get into a rhythm, figure out what the defense is doing, exploit their weaknesses. We don't do that. It's just we want to go fast and we want to put stress on you by stretching you out. That's the gimmicky part of this offense. I don't think that the whole offense is a gimmick. But we gotta put some more in there. If we can't bunch up formations with that tempo and then spread it back out, it's not always gonna work. It's just not. So and PU, I think that you said it perfectly earlier. That whenever the field spreads out, it's easy for the offense to see what the defense is in, but at the same time, it's easy for the defense to kind of stop what the offense is trying to do. Because if your wide receivers are on the sideline, guess where they can't go? They can't go out. So you know that they're coming back to the inside. And they can only come back inside so far because they're so far out. So it's just, yes, I know I made that a very, very long answer. But yes, that 100%. I'm gonna play the super chat for you soon as I can find it. I'm discombobulated, man, because I'm pissed off. Hold on one second. Thank you so much for that, Wesley. We do have some more that we are going to get to. Right here from Aaron Young says, Martinez can't double up. Yeah. So you know what? I wouldn't even put that so much. And hold on one second. Let me play this clip for you first. Thank you for that, Aaron. But yeah, so I wouldn't even put this so much on Coach Nez. I've put this a whole lot more on Coach Tim Banks. Why aren't you blitzing a quarterback that struggles with pressure? Why are you sitting back like this is Tom Brady and he's going to carve us up if we start the blitz? I think that we put too much of an emphasis on the pass rush lanes, which is what I was kind of scared of versus Jackson Arnold. Okay, I said, look, just go after him. Like, don't do too much because our pass rush was just kind of like mediocre. But we did not blitz nearly enough. We were very, very basic, and it killed us. Put pressure on these guys. Make them prove it first, and then once they prove it, then switch some things up. But put that thought in their head, man, look, we coming after you, and get their clock sped up so that they're not on time and in rhythm, which they were, and it hurt us. It killed us. But yeah.
I mean, they're freaking killing us over the middle of the field all night long. I think this game is. I mean, I'm not gonna say the whole game because at the end of the day, I mean, the defense gave up what? I mean, they gave up what 20 points. Really was like 13 or whatever it was, 14, whatever it was, up until the very last minute or so of that game. So I mean, defense did solid. I think the real focus should be on the offense, but I mean the defense. I mean, the middle field was open. We gave up
long drives. Like the offense was barely
long yards, long drives. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We couldn't get off the field.
We had less than 20 plays. We had less than 20 plays in the first half. I mean, we just could not get on the freaking field. It seemed like they were running the ball more successfully than what the numbers showed, at least in that first half. I'm not sure what they ended up being to end the game, but they were running the ball over us. And the quarterback didn't even scramble. We talked about this before the game. We said, hey, only thing in business is quarterback scramble. And we came out here and they never freaking scrambled. He never scrambled. I don't know if he had a single play where he took off and ran for yardage. I don't think that happened. Now, he may have had a play or two, go back watch the film, but he may have a play or two where he's, scrambled and bought time and threw it down the field maybe. But for the most part, he was in the pocket hitting guys across the middle of the freaking field. Or I think maybe the first touchdown or something like that. They had a freaking guy open in the flats. Or actually, it should have been a touchdown, but he made a bad throw and threw it at his freaking ankles. But, release got to the flats. Like, it just seemed like we were so unprepared for this game. And maybe it's like you just said, because we were overemphasized, QB scramble, rush lanes, that whole deal. But the fact that we had a whole bye week, we had 2 weeks to prepare for this game and came out here and this is how we performed. I mean, to me, that's inexcusable. That's unforgivable. I mean, that's the whole deal. And I mean, I'm at a loss for words.
Yeah.
I'm at a freaking loss for words.
Hey, let me get to this right here because we have another super chat. So listen, y'all, we are going to get to the super chats. I'm keeping my eye on it. This one right here is from 10 Vols. 1084 says, Bull, why do you think we didn't pass as much? It seemed like Nico was scared the whole game. Offense was confused. Arkansas had good pass defense in some instances. So first and foremost, thank you so much for the super chat. And we are going to play this clip. Thank you. So, yeah, I think that part of the reason, and it looked like we dropped back to pass the ball a pretty solid amount. It just kind of seemed like I think that it goes back to our first couple of points that the offensive line didn't do a good job, and it wasn't just with the offensive line. On this part, I'm gonna have to go back and just kind of look at it. I think that it was the tight ends. I think that it was our backs. We didn't do a good job of picking up where the pressure was coming from. There was actually a time where I saw Miles Kitselman push Lance Hurd off of a guy that he was blocking, and he didn't do it on purpose. He was trying to help. But, I mean, how does that happen, right? But anyway, so that's number one. I think that Nico, his confidence in the offensive line holding up versus the pressure wasn't great. So you would see him kind of patting his feet, looking around, but he stares down people first and foremost. And if he only has two options, which that's not on every single play, but it's on too many of them, where you only have two options for you to look at and throw the football to, and then their coverage. I mean, they were able to, on a lot of those plays, especially if you look more like towards the second half, I mean, dude, they had two people on every single one of our wide receivers. And then it would be one guy who had single coverage, but he was covered up because he's running a hitch or, he's running a straight go and it's easy to stop. So I think that Nico held onto the ball a little bit too much. And, maybe Heupel and, the whole, maybe they just kind of like lost confidence in the passing game because of all those factors. I know that I just said a whole lot with that, but it just really comes down to we weren't prepared for this game. We didn't have a good game plan. We got to open things up some more or add some things to our offensive scheme, to our route combinations. And, we have to be able to execute. And Nico's got to be better. I mean, just flat out, he's got to make plays. He's got to stop being so just like conservative. He's got to, some people are going to hate this. He cannot be afraid to throw interceptions. He needs to get out there and ball because I've said it. Came into the season expecting Nico will probably throw more picks, but the payoff will be we've got a quarterback that can ball and that puts fear in defenses. He's not doing that right now. So we're going to see loaded boxes, and he's going to have to prove it. And until he proves it, we're not really going to be able to I mean, I don't know what the heck we're gonna do. We're gonna have to be able to be dominant, run the daggone football, but he's gonna have to be a lot more consistent. So I put that on several different people inside of our organization. It just was not a good day at all for our volunteers. And these are the numbers right here, because we were just talking about. Oh, hold on. I think I might have. Oh, okay. Here it is. All right. So sorry about that, y'all. All right. So these are the numbers, man. Tennessee had 332 yards of total offense, and then Arkansas had 431. They had 23 first downs to our 16. No, neither team had any turnovers. We thought that would be a big part of this game.
Yep.
As far as the as far as time held, Arkansas had 35 minutes. Tennessee had 24 minutes. You know, that's us not getting off the freaking field. So while defense did a good job of bending and not breaking, I mean, that's not good enough. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not going to be good enough for this team. If we want to be championship caliber, and P, I know you said that right now, you're not feeling that, but you will come back around, I'm sure, after we take a look at this film. But anyway, so that's kind of that. We'll come back to that in just a minute. But man, maybe I should try to get to some more of these chats. I know a lot of people have things to say.
I mean,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think you hit the mute button.
Yeah, Tim, did you have anything you want to chime in with real quick? I know.
No, man. I just want to watch the film and take another look at it before I mean, there's plenty of things I wasn't happy about, obviously, but I kind of want to watch it back a little bit and see what was going on some of this stuff. I'm with you though. I wasn't stoked about the play calling, and just felt like we were a little too conservative, and we were afraid to open things up. But the only thing I can hope is this is going to be a wake up call on that, and they're just going to have to go out and interceptions be damned and go for it.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree, man. And that's been kind of our knock on Heupel really since day one, is going back to even his UCF days. He's always seemed to lose a game every year that he shouldn't lose, and it's in this type of fashion where it just, at least for me watching it live, it felt like we lost the line of scrimmage. It felt like we were out physical. It felt like they were the better team. And it just seems to happen somehow every single season. And hopefully this is the one time that it happens. Hopefully we come out next week against Florida. We're back to who we were before this game. But it just seems to happen every single season. But I mean, that to me, that's probably the most concerning thing, is it seemed like they ran the ball too easily. We didn't get enough consistent of a pass rush, and it's like we didn't run the. I mean, I know we ran the ball decent. We went up for 174, so we don't put up decent numbers. But I just feel like it should be a little bit easier than what it was for us today. And we talked about it coming in. We knew that they had a pretty good D line, especially in run defense. But I mean, it's like it was too much of a struggle. It was too physical of a battle. It was too much of a hard fought game, and obviously we ended up losing. But I mean, we had a chance there at the end. Nico made a great play. I mean, the catch by Dante Thornton there. I mean, he had like three guys on him, all hands catch. Yeah. Hands. I mean, beautiful catch.
That was big.
And then for it to end the way it did, with Nico just running out of bounds. Watching it live, we talked about this as well. We watched it live. To me, what it felt like, it seemed like Nico didn't realize he was running past. He didn't realize how far he had ran, and then all of a sudden he kind of realized, it was like, oh shoot, I'm past line of scrimmage, and then it was too late. I don't think that he obviously intended to do that. I think he would have, if he go back and do it again, he would have threw it up for grabs. But I just feel like, to me, it just seemed like he just kind of was further upfield than he thought he was. You know what I mean?
And that just can't happen. You know what I'm saying? Because you are the quarterback of this team. You cannot, you have to understand the situation. And if and again, y'all, he's a redshirt freshman. And I do, there's a big part of me. And, I kind of said this after that Georgia game, where this could be good. This could be good. But now we got to go out and we have to win. We got to be dominant. And you know what? It's definitely not all bad. It's easy for us to sit in here and just be doom and gloom. I don't want for you to think, at least for me, I'll speak personally. I don't feel like I still think that this team is championship caliber. I think that we came out, we played a terrible game. I think that we were just off. Everybody from top to bottom, it was just off. But we can still do it. I think that we will get this ship righted. And hopefully we'll come out versus Florida next weekend at home with a vengeance. And it's supposed to be a night game. I guess it still will be. I don't know if they'll change that or not. But there are some players that I just kind of want to talk about. Descent, man, 22 carries, 138 yards, 6.3 yards per carry, 2 tugs. Okay. Okay. I mean, look, he's running through tackles. He's trying to make things happen. You know, I think he had a couple of catches where he did some really nice things too. I think that Bluechip came in and he ran well too. I mean, look, he only had 3 carries for 19 yards, but 6.3 yards per carry. And, you know, the offensive line didn't always have those holes going. That kind of goes back to the scheme. And this one, the inside zone stuff, it wasn't working. We did kind of stop doing that. But, you know, as we kind of started to run some more man scheme or some more gap scheme, you know, pin and pull type stuff, we saw it happening. We're getting up to that second level. We talked about that all week. Get up to the second level, block those backers, and things started to open up a little bit more. But it was, you know, it was a little bit too late. That just goes back to the play calling. We weren't calling plays in any sort of a rhythm. And then also, if you look at the wide receivers, man, Dante Thornton only had 1 catch. That was his only catch. That 42-yard catch. I don't know how correct that is. I thought that he had more than that. I thought that he had 2. Squirrel, he had 7, you know, for 38. I hope that he's okay. That's something else. Players are banged up. You know what I mean? Hopefully, Brew, his hand looked like it. But I think he's okay. But Bryson Easton, that's the one that really scared me. You know, he had a knee or, you know, whatever leg. You know, Brazel, he had a couple of big catches. I was hoping that Nimrod would have, you know, had some more targets because he's from Arkansas. This was his chance to kind of shine and show out. And I don't think that the defensive stuff is up. What is this right here? Oh, okay, yeah. So defense is how many sacks do we have in this game? 2 sacks. They had 4. That makes me want to throw up because this front is not worthy of that. We just did stupid stuff. It's like, I mean, I don't know. We just did not play up to par, y'all. Like this was as bad of a game as I think a team has played up under Heupel. I mean, I guess you got to go back to that South Carolina game.
I was gonna say, I mean, even the Missouri game last year was a bad game too.
Yeah, but this one, I think that we performed with less of ourselves in this one than we did in that game. You know what I'm saying? Because see, like this one, I mean, I like that one last year. I was like, okay, I can kind of see it. This one is almost like there's no excuse. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, maybe that's just me.
No, yeah, I mean, I think you're right. You know, it was a bad performance all around, top to bottom. But I mean, as you said, there are some things you can point to that were positives. I think Dylan Sampson, obviously. I mean, it seemed like we ran the ball well. I think honestly, what really got us in the bind was we didn't do a good job defensively getting them off the field. And so they were extending drives, converting 4th downs, and, you know, just having these long drives. I mean, like we talked about earlier, we had 20 plays in the first half, like under 20 plays. I don't know what the exact number was. It was like, you know, 17, 18, something like that plays in the first half. So it's tough to get into a rhythm offensively. But, you know, again, we talk about defense, but, you know, is that more of an issue with the play calling? Is that why we didn't have more plays, didn't have longer drives? I mean, we're going 3 and out. There's just so many questions, and we really won't have the answers we need until we can go back and watch the film.
Yeah, hopefully that's going to be up here in just a minute. We'll be checking.
Yeah.
Hey, look, and then this is something else. This is something else here, real quick. So Taylor Green, man, 19 of 27 for 266 yards, no touchdowns, but look, his rushing numbers. He had 9 carries. I guess 3 of those were probably sacks. Well, how many sacks do we have? 2. I guess 2 of those was probably sacks for -5 yards. So at least we didn't let him run all over us. But and I mean, really, there wasn't just one player that just ran all over us. They kind of.
I mean, really, that number 2 receiver, he lit us up down.
Golly, dude, yeah, he is good, man. Andrew Armstrong. I mean, really, all their guys. There's so many things, dude. There's so many things that I could look at with that defense. I know that the offense is what, you know, we feel like let us down, and the defense didn't give up that many points, but get off the field. I mean, and it's not so much. Some of it was actually on the players, like we talked about. The linebackers played horrible. I mean, they played absolutely horrible. I don't think that the secondary played that bad. Turntine had some terrible angles. I don't know what the hell he was doing. I mean, it was a couple of times he's supposed to be playing in zone. He's coming down trying to feel for a run. Do your job, buddy.
He's going the opposite direction.
I mean, do your job. So, yeah, I mean, there's a whole lot of blame. And that's stuff that I know for sure just in watching it live. But like we keep on saying, once we go back and watch that film, Timmy G, we'll have a much better understanding of it. You know what I mean? But was there anything else that just kind of stood out to you, Timmy G, or something else that
I
you?
mean, there were a lot of things. Like I say,
Yeah.
man, this loss wasn't. It's not like Arkansas did anything extremely well, and that's why they won. It was just death of a thousand cuts, right?
Yep.
It was a lot of little things, penalties, play calling, coming out flat to start the game, just a lot of things, man. I mean, there's a lot of things to clean up, but the way I am with this right now is, it's not the end of the world. It's not good, but it's not the end of the world. Let's hope this lights a fire under them, and let's see what happens going down the road from here. Man, not happy, but sometimes you learn a lot more from a loss than you do a win. And there's going to be a crap load of teaching moments on this one, I promise you. It is what it is, man. I mean, we've just got to move on and beat the living hell out of Florida next week. Is what I want now. So, ready to put this one behind us and learn from it and move on.
Yeah. So first, though, let me ask y'all this: if there is one thing, okay, and you can only choose one that we can get corrected moving forward, I want to know what that one thing could possibly be.
Well, I don't know if we can get it corrected this season or not, but for me, it is the not necessarily the play calling, but it's just the play, the scheme. We've got to get a better scheme. I think what we do, I think it's been 3-4 years, whatever how long it's been. I think we had a question they asked it. I think they have figured it out, the offense. I think that it's too simple, and that it's too easy to stop. Like it's too easy for teams just to let's put 3 guys over here, and these are the 2 or 3 route options you're going to get, and just to have them play those options and commit everybody else to run. I think we need to get more diverse, and that's something we've been harping on here the past few weeks. We've got to start condensing the splits, because when you condense the splits, I think it gives you more options, and I think it muddies the picture. We talked pregame about how when the splits are sideline, it's a clear picture for the quarterback, but it's a super clear picture for the defense as well, because now, like Bull just said, the receiver, he can't really go out because he's at the sideline. He has to go either in or vertical. So it makes it easy for defense to be able to play that. So I think we got to condense these splits, and that will allow us to open up the playbook, open up our scheme more, and get a little more diverse. So for me, if I had to pick one thing, it's going to be the scheme. We've got to get more diverse.
Okay. And then too, something real quick, Timmy G, I'm gonna let you go too, but I also want to point this out real quick. I don't know if Arkansas got into a 3-3-5, but they did have that odd man front with 3. Yeah. So it could have been a 3-2-6, which is a dime. Could have been, yeah. Because I don't remember counting 3 true linebackers out there. It looked like they might have had 6 DBs out there. But they were doing, but it really, I think with our scheme, you can run that because the people who are making tackles come from the secondary, and they're just going to be unblocked. They're coming downhill quick, and everything else is covered up.
There's a couple times they only had 4 guys in the freaking box.
Yeah.
3 linemen and 1 back.
That is pathetic. But all right, so Timmy G, if you could change one thing, okay, one thing that you know for sure will get changed moving forward for this team, what would that one thing be?
Take more chances. Let's play less conservative. That's my takeaway from this. Like throw the ball downfield, interceptions be damned, you have to score to win, and at times it didn't look like that was our goal. It was sloppy. There was a lot of things, man. But for me, just don't be as damn conservative and go out there and try to play to win. Take some chances, man. I know Nico's a freshman and redshirt freshman, but it's only a 6th start. I had a feeling that at some point this was going to come up and be an issue, and that's why you don't see a lot of people with 6 games underneath them, going out and taking on the world. It happens, and these defensive play callers, they know that. They've watched Nico's tape. They've seen his tendencies that, you know, he likes to hold on to the ball and a couple things, and you know, they're trying to confuse him, and you know, they're having some success with it. But you know, let's hope they can make some adjustments and get some things right.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so both of y'all just went offense, so I'm gonna go defense. If I could change one thing moving forward, it would be that Tim Banks will be aggressive. And I'm talking about like cover zero. We're gonna bring 6 or 7. Like, and if you beat us over the top, then you just do. Because see, then we can dictate. It's kind of like the exact same thing that y'all are saying on the offense, right? You have to be able to kind of like dictate what you want to have happen. And you know, in this game, I kind of feel like, you know, on both sides, we couldn't do that. So you know, my one thing would be that Tim Banks would just bring the freaking house. Like, don't be so concerned about a quarterback running or beating you over the top or nothing, because whenever you get pressure busts pipes. There's not very many quarterbacks or players, period, that operate well under pressure. That's like the top 0.000%. You know what I'm saying? Or 0.0001%. You know, of people walking around on this earth, or even football players, period, that can do that. So I want to see him do a whole lot more of that. We know that our front is good, okay? But for them to be able to, I think, get home with just 4, we need to start bringing more so that people will be more concerned about, because now you can start to show those blitzes. You throw people off. But whenever you just sit back how we did today, I mean, teams will pick you apart. Yeah. And that's exactly what they did. Bend but don't break. It's time for us to get on up out of that. I don't see us winning a championship with this team playing like that. The defense needs to start bringing a whole lot more heat. So that would be my thing. But you know, I mean, I guess that's pretty much it for me, man. Like I know that people probably got a whole lot of things that they want to say. I'll probably close with this. I'm gonna let everyone get their closing thoughts in. But for me, there's a couple of narratives that I've seen. People have given up on Nico. Nico is still a very good quarterback. He had a bad game. That's going to happen. Okay?
Well, everybody's tendency when you have a loss is to overreact, and I get it. Number one, because most of us, well, not me today, because I don't start drinking to the fourth quarter. That's just me, and that's only if we're winning.
Right.
But you know, man, look, these night games, you know, people tend to get a little bit in them and have fun, and you know, we talk our shit and we do our thing, and our tendency when we lose is to overreact. It's not always as bad as we think it is right now. I'm not saying it's good that we lost or anything like that, but you know, I think a lot of it is correctable. But like, look, the room for, if we could have won today, our margin of error was pretty wide. It's not wide anymore. It's narrow, and you know, we've got to go out there and perform and not let off the gas. So that's where I'm at.
For sure. Yeah. So I would just say that, you know, Nico is going to be fine. I mean, really, this entire team is going to be fine. You know, so we talked a whole lot about scheme today, but we have seen those things in the scheme. So we've actually literally watched these plays. So we know that we have them. It's just a matter of calling them. You know, I think that this is probably good for Hype too, because I think that Hype probably started to feel like, well, you know, we can just get by this team without having to show too much. You've got to play. You got to keep your foot on people's throat, but you got to put it on there first to be able to keep it there. So I think that the entire team, and it starts off with Coach Heupel, come out and try to put up 1,000 points. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like just try to score as much as you possibly can. And then whenever you're up by 30 or 40 points, now you can start to dumb it down, and you will be surprised at how, you know, it won't take you too many plays because the playbook is deep. But so I would just say those things. I think the Heupel can get it done. I think that Nico can get it done. I think that this team can get it done. I'm not down on Tim Banks. I think that everyone just had a bad game. I still believe in this team, and we will get things right moving forward. But it's got to start, and I think that it probably has tonight. Okay, on that plane ride, or you know, whatever the hell, going back home, get yourself together, get your mind right, and let's go into next week and for the rest of the season with a new mindset. And let's be the Tennessee team that we know that we can be. But
no, yeah, I mean, you're 100% correct, man. Are we going to be a team like Georgia who goes out there, struggles with Kentucky, goes out there against Bama after a bye week and 28-0, whatever it was, first quarter. And then comes out here against Auburn and didn't look great first half against Auburn either. You know, are we going to be that type of team that has a bad performance, a bad loss, and come out here against Florida next week and still look bad? Or do we turn it on and freaking come out here and dominate for 4 quarters? You know, a freaking, you know, just a dominating game. You know, like you said, who cares about daggum score? I don't care about the score. You know, the score be damned or whatever. Who cares about the score? Is it domination? That's what it comes down to for me. And yeah, I mean, that's said, there's a million things that we need to fix. Of course, no one's out on this team. I think the coaches are good. I mean, we've gotten this far. We've gotten this much success. We've done the good things that we've done with this staff, whether it's Ellerby, whether it's Banks, Martinez, Heupel. They do good things, but I just feel like every single season there's at least one game where it's just completely what in the world happened in that game. And hopefully this is that game. Hopefully we look back at the end of the season and we say, man, how in the world did we lose to freaking Arkansas? Whatever the score was, 20-4, whatever it was, 2014, whatever it was. But I mean, I still believe in this team. I know I said I was done with them. Like you said, Timmy G, hey, we overreact when we lose.
Yeah.
But I am done for now until they come out here and show me against a real SC team. I don't count Oklahoma as a real SC team because that's a Big 12 team. Just because you're an SC now, I'm not going to say you're SC team. You're a Big 12 team until you've been here and you've had to recruit against our guys and that whole deal. They're a Big 12 team until I want to see us do it against Florida. And once I see us do it against Florida, then maybe I'll believe in these guys. Say, okay, we are a physical line on both sides of the line of scrimmage. And then of course Bama's a big game. But for me right now, I'm not a believer on either side of the line of scrimmage because this is our first real SC test, in my opinion. And I think we lost the battle on both sides of the ball. So until we get that corrected, until we go out there and take that taste out of my mouth against Florida, I'm going to continue to feel that way. So, that's really all I got.
Yeah. Right. So, Timmy G, did you want to add anything? I think that you kind of had, but you can.
No, the only thing I'm going to say is Heupel needs to go back like it's 2022 and pretend that he doesn't have a good defense.
Yeah, he does.
Pretend you don't have a good defense and go for broke because that's what you had to do to win then. Well, it worked. So why don't you pretend like you ain't got a good defense now and just go out and play with reckless abandon? Right. And if it bites you in the butt, it bites you in the butt. But at least you're trying. It's just really hard after seeing like the way that we've seen them open it up on offense, and then kind of seeing the way we had some obviously against some not good teams. Where we were putting up 70 and doing these things, but then all of a sudden you get into these games and you go super conservative. Like, man, just go out there and open it up and go for it. So,
yep. Excellent points, y'all. All right, well, I guess that's gonna be it, man. I'm about to. Hopefully, this film is come out, but y'all already know that I will be back tomorrow. I'm trying to decide. I mean, I guess as I go through it, I'll probably figure out exactly what I do want to break down, but. I'll probably do something a little bit more public, for everybody, even, for the non-members, just because I think that everyone kind of needs it. And I'm going to try to put a, positive spin on it if I can find one. But I mean, there's always plenty of positive to find out of anything, it's just all on how you look at it. So I think that the team will be fine, man. This loss sucks. It's not the end of the world. This is now the 12-team playoff. So it's a whole lot like NFL football where, man, look, we've said this for a long time. The team just needs to peak by playoff time. So this team right now, maybe we're kind of getting there and then we kind of took a step back, but now we might take 3 or 4 steps forward, come out, look like juggernauts, and then we might be peaking at the right time. And we might just run through the rest of this schedule, man, and go undefeated win the SEC championship, which I think that we can still do. Because guess what? The other teams that's even in that race outside of Texas, I mean, we got to play them. We still got to play Bama and we still got to play Georgia. So we can still kind of get to all of our goals. So we will see what happens. But thank y'all so much for tuning in. Yeah. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say one more thing. Just remember, I think the only undefeated team in the SEC right now is Texas, right?
It's Texas. That's it.
And they still have to play Georgia. Like it's still wide open, but we just got to go out and win. So yeah, just go win.
That's it. So, yep. So thank y'all so much. Please make sure to like and subscribe on your way on up out the door. And we'll see y'all in just a minute, or actually we'll see y'all tomorrow. Thanks. Peace.